Topic of election expenses, limits and implications. We have with us in the studio Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, former Chief Election Commissioner of India, and Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal from the BJP, senior politician. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. We'll start with you, Dr. Qureshi. Now, a series of reforms we know have sort of reduced the amount of cash that reduced the amount of election expenses. But cash seems to be a serious concern because it's difficult to measure, it's difficult to watch over it, even though you have flying squads, etc. Do you think that there are electoral reforms that are necessary to try and curb cash?
Yes. You know, the role of money power in election is a matter of concern for everyone. That's why the law provides a ceiling on expenditure. The idea is that the level playing field should be available. Otherwise, only the rich people will be able to contest. Poor people will have no chance. Now, what it is a reasonable ceiling, that's a debatable issue. And so far, unfortunately, we have not come across any consensus among political parties. We discussed it with political parties. We have done an election commission from time to time. And some people think that it should be raised. Some think there should be no limit at all. But there are parties which say that even this ceiling is very high because this puts premium on rich people. Right. So I think consensus needs to be evolved. Second, I would like to point out that perception is that Election Commission fixes this expenditure ceiling. It is not correct. It is done by the government, by the Law Ministry. And the last ceiling in 2011, which was mentioned earlier in this bulletin, in this program, was raised on my request to the Law Ministry. Right. And fortunately, this was one recommendation they immediately accepted. Right. And at that time, we had thought that very quickly, on the basis of rough calculation of inflation, about 60% based on the previous fixing of ceiling. Figures, yes. We came up with this figure from 25 lakhs to 40 lakhs and from 10 lakhs to 16 lakhs. But I do agree that the actual expenditure in election is a lot more. Okay. But it is also 5 crores, it is also 10 crore as we hear anecdotally. Right. So what is a reasonable ceiling? We would like to know.
What is a reasonable ceiling then, Mr. Mittal?
I would expect all to understand a few basic figures. A parliamentary constituency typically is around 18 lakh to 20 lakh people per parliamentary constituency. Translating this into families, you're looking at 4 lakh families per Lok Sabha constituency. Can you imagine? 40 lakhs, the limit to reach out to 4 lakh families. Even if a booklet has to be sent, it will cross the limit of 40 lakhs. The unfortunate part is, while the intent is very noble, the entire methodology and the entire exercise has become anti-elections, anti-democracy, anti-fair play. In the endeavor to create a level playing field, what you have just promoted is clandestine electioneering.
So you need to expand on that. What do you mean by that?
Let me explain this. Qureshi Saab also agreed that anecdotally, it is understood that the elections are costing far more, in crores, which is a fact. Election Commission, in its over-enthusiasm, I would say, has been placing such unreasonable, unrealistic conditions that it has led to clandestine expenditures. You know, when you prevent free access through conventional methodologies of electioneering, which was like posters, pamphlets, hoardings, banners, flags, that was a way to reach out to people. Right. The moment you put an end to this kind of electioneering, what are you leaving a candidate with? You're leaving a candidate with the option of relying on things like liquor distribution, on paying off special interest groups, on all kind of unhealthy election practices. My request is, be realistic about the requirements of an election. Your cash ceilings cannot be 40 lakhs, it has to be much, much, much more. B, please permit an open, convenient access to people by the candidates. That will reduce the role of money power in politics, in electioneering.
Mr. Qureshi, Dr. Qureshi, we all know that, I mean, even though there are various discrepancies in the way political parties are funded, 20,000 rupees and above is all that we know about. What, donations below 20,000 rupees, there may be thousands and thousands of them. We don't know what, how the funding is coming. And then we know that business interests are associated with political parties. There's crony capitalism. All these things develop over time. So in keeping all that in mind, would it be fair to increase the limit without, concentrating on the funding of the political party?
Mark, actually, you are now raising a second issue. The original debate was on ceiling on expenditure.
Yes, exactly.
But you have also brought in political funding, political financing. And they are both very important issues and they have a bearing on the quality of election. If you permit, I'll first deal with
I thought that they were related. Aren't they related?
Yeah, absolutely. They are related. Yeah. But let me first deal with the first point about the expenditure ceiling. Mr. Mittal is absolutely right. The idea of an entire political exercise is to reach out to people and as conveniently and as easily as possible. But the fact that the law was made by them only, the politicians, and law put a ceiling basically for the purpose of a level playing field.
Right.
So if there should be no ceiling, well, it is up to the political party to change the law. There is no problem. The second issue which I read earlier, that there has to be a reasonable and rational ceiling. There has to be agreement and consensus of that. Now, even if anecdotally we know 5 crores or 10 crores, are we saying that the ceiling should be 5 crores or 10 crores? Let them say so, and political parties together let them say so. Because when it comes to election commission, we'd have to deal with all the parties.
Right,
and there are parties who equally strongly make out a case for reducing the limit. But Mr. Mittal raised a very interesting point which needs to be looked at. After all, parliament election and Vidhan Sabha purpose is the same, you have to reach out. A parliamentary constituency will, shall we say, have 5 Vidhan Sabha constituency. If the ceiling of Vidhan Sabha is 16 lakhs, so Lok Sabha should be 16 into 5.
Right. There's a lot more to discuss, or clarifications regarding these expenses as well. Do stay with us. We're taking a break. A discussion on election expenses, limits and implications. We have with us in the studio Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, former Chief Election Commissioner of India, and Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, politician, senior politician from the BJP. Dr. Qureshi, I mean, if the politicians have so many friends, and they may tell them, you foot this bill and you foot that bill and you foot that bill and all of that, is it possible to really account for it in a decent way, which can limit it to 40 lakh rupees?
I think it requires election commission and political parties sitting together, doing a serious exercise, and because election commission doesn't want to throttle democracy. The election commission wants democracy to be a festival, and the instructions which look very authoritarian or unreasonable, election commission is basically a flexible organization. That's why we keep changing the rules. We can keep changing the norm. It does require sitting together and coming to an agreed formula, because then, but the consensus is the key word there. But if you want now, again come back to the political financing.
Right.
Well, I strongly believe that while state funding of elections, I'm against, because that will not suppress black money. Even if all 40 lakhs for a Lok Sabha is given through the state fund, what will happen to those 3, 4, 5 crores which may be going through black money? But state funding, the political parties' dependence on tainted money, black money, the corporates, it can finish if state funding of political parties can be considered. And I have given a formula that for every vote a party or gets, let them get 100 rupees. And I calculated in the last general election, 42 crores votes were cast. So at the rate of 100 rupees, 4,200 crores can be given to political parties. Now this approximately is the money which they raise through the legal, illegal means, arm twisting and all that. So obviously I'm sure they are also not happy to to go and beg the corporate. If they can be free from the indignity of twisting the arm or begging from them, it should come to them very gracefully.
I think I'm so eternally grateful to Qureshi Saab for suggesting such a pragmatic and such a workable solution to the entire problem of black money, of tainted money and election funding. See, let's understand, when an election is fought, there are 2 levels of funding. One is what is the fund which is given to a candidate by the
Okay.
party, and the
Right.
second is what he's raising through all kind of methodologies.
Right.
If this was to be forthcoming, believe me,
Sure.
democracy would be entirely different. The quality of people
Okay.
who shall be your representatives would be very different. The dependence on compromising
Okay.
because of fund requirement
Okay.
would not be there. The government would be healthy, the government would be clean. I mean, it's going to be a different kind of democracy. It's going to be
Sure.
different kind of government.
Right.
I think it's a brilliant suggestion, and
Right.
Qureshi Sahab, please take, I would say, lead in this. I think you can evolve a consensus in this. I don't think
Right.
any political party would have any opposition to
Right,
this.
but Dr.
And
Qureshi,
it's a pro rata
this is
basis.
you spoke about the source of the money coming in, but if we have to look at what are the expenses really involved for a candidate, I mean that can also be monitored and is being monitored. We see that there are advertisements, there's hiring vehicles and aircraft, there's printing, publicity material, salaries to party workers, there's also paid news. Now, some of these things are in the realm of illegal.
Yes.
So how does one monitor that really to keep the illegal expenditures out?
Yeah, you know, there are two things. One, the obvious legal expenditure is something we can monitor more easily. For instance, there used to be a time when there will be 1,000 vehicles in a rally. Now,
Right.
that will used to bring down the life of the city. Therefore, a restriction will place on the number of cars, so that can be regulated. But the other issue of paid news. Every political party has been a victim of paid news. No, they do not spare, these sharks do not spare anybody. They will
Okay.
go to them with a package. Look, if you do not, if you pay me 50 lakhs, I'll praise you. If you give me 1 crore, I'll praise you and demolish your enemy.
So it's the
And if you-
media that is corrupt, or I mean, it's either side. I
you
mean,
know,
it's,
because exactly, they're being forced. And if they refuse to pay, if they
Blackmailed,
refuse to toe the line,
blackmailed.
they exactly.
I mean, the word I am using, very strong words. I risk being blacklisted by the media,
okay.
but it is virtual blackmail.
Yes.
I mean, you cannot imagine the plight of a candidate.
Okay.
He is asked for package. Okay, what is the package? This newspaper, 5 lakh ka package. This TV channel, 10 lakh ka package. I
No,
mean,
but
it's the package culture.
Mr. Mittal, the fact is that a lot of the news channels and newspapers are supported by political parties.
You'll
So
be
I mean, in that
surprised.
sense, you know, I mean,
Let me
really,
illustrate.
are you really
You know, it is
contradicting
so
yourself?
strange. You'll have on the same page, on one side, फला कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में हरि शंकर आगे, उसी में, और इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में शिव शंकर ने हरि शंकर को पटकी दी. एक
So
ही
that will be the
one page,
So obviously
two
that
adjacent
doesn't make
stories
sense, yes.
contradicting each other, but both are there because they've been paid for.
Okay, fair
As
enough.
I said, the reason is the conventional methodology of reaching out to people has been stifled. So many unrealistic conditions have been put that there is no other way to reach out to people, and
Okay.
you are subjected to this blackmail of print media, blackmail of
Sure.
cable television, blackmail, all kind of blackmails.
We'll come back to
Let's put an
this
end to this.
discussion on blackmail or media really after this short break. Keep watching. You're watching Later Day. You're watching a discussion on election expenses, limits and implications. We have with us Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, former Chief Election Commissioner of India, and Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, senior politician from the BJP. Dr. Qureshi, we were talking about the media's role. Now we see there's a proliferation of the media, and obviously it's pretty expensive to run a media house as well. And this is a source of funding for the media house. So obviously, I mean, if you talk about blackmail, then I do not. There are probably a reason for it, and the huge number of media houses continuing to increase. Do you think that I mean, the media is too big to control in this matter?
You know, interestingly, as I said, all political parties have been a victim of paid news. And interestingly, 95% of the journalists are also upset with this practice because they came to us repeatedly, Editors Guild of India, Indian Women's Press Corps, all of them, they come and they protest because it is the owners of the media houses
Right.
and not the working journalists who are guilty of this. And when they start pressurizing the journalists also, a reporter whose job is just to report honestly, if he's
Right.
asked to become a collector of fund on the web, they don't like it. So good thing is that the consensus among political parties against this is wise. 95% of the journalists against this. This is a very healthy thing. A little more push. On our part, what do we set up a media monitoring committee, and with they try to see what Mr. Mittal referred to. Same page, our rival candidates are being declared winners. Obviously, they've taken money from both of them.
Right.
So, and on that basis, we give notices, and in many cases, we caught them, and they admitted and they corrected the record. And in fact, we have even unseated a sitting MLA and disqualified her from contesting on this issue.
Okay, fair enough.
Too little, too late.
Mr. Mittal, we always talk about cash being doled out, etc. There are some states where that exists, and it's much more than in other states, and all political parties are responsible. Is this going to stop? Doling out things to the cash, the liquor, the whatever, to buy votes?
How would it stop?
This is the political parties have to look inward themselves.
Let me explain this to you. When it is a corporation election involving 50,000 people, you have 13 days of campaigning. When it is a MLA election involving 1.5 lakh people, you have 13 days of campaigning. When you have a Lok Sabha election involving 18 lakh people, you have 13 days of campaigning. Is there a way to reach out to people? If you cannot reach out to people, what other methodology are you going to adopt to reach out to people except doling out cash? I genuinely believe that it's time that we all sit with a very open mind and very candidly discuss the entire gamut of conducting of elections. I just want to remind you, one of the governors of Rajasthan in her address on the Republic Day said, today, elections, instead of becoming the festival of democracy, have become the graveyard of democracy because of the unrealistic restrictions which have been put in by the Election Commission. It's a very telling statement.
No, but the festival would involve doles and everything like that.
No, that is what I'm saying. We have a wrong conception. The festivity is not expensive. The restriction of the festivity is leading to a lot of expenses which can be avoided. That is what I'm saying. In the quest for a solution, we have actually...
We've run short of time, but finally, Dr. Qureshi, I know electoral reforms is a very broad term, specifically with regard to control of cash. What do you think really needs to be done, can be done immediately?
Mark, can I first comment on the Festival of Democracy? Festival of Democracy will be reflected in the voters' turnout. When they used to have festival of the kind Mr. Mittal was referring to, the turnout used to be very low. Now with all the restrictions, but voter education, we thought voter education is the way out. The fact that 70%, 80%, even 93% turnout has been reported.
Sir, correction of your electoral rolls is the reason why there is an increase of turnout. Earlier the election, it's a very important point. The electoral
We've run out of time, Mr. Mittal.
Was not accurate. Now
this is the final word. We're giving the final word to Dr. Qureshi.
This may be one small contributory factor, but the fact that voter education led to participation of the voters in a big way, in a very festive way. If I was to tell you a detail, if you take a whole program, the kind of things which they did. Now, but finally, we talked about electoral reform. The reform proposals have been pending with the government for the last 20 years, and they are with the politicians. So please, for God's sake, look at these. And whatever is realistic and you think is reasonable, please take action on that and don't allow
things to drift. It's a collective decision of
Otherwise, let me also caution you that if you don't do electoral reform, then the judiciary will step in your space and then don't complain.
Most political parties support an increase in the expenditure limit. But for another political viewpoint, I spoke to Rashid Alvi of the Congress Party. We have with us Mr. Rashid Alvi of the Congress to give us the viewpoint of the Congress Party.
I support this proposal that the limit of expenditures individually from every constituency should be increased. But at the same time, all political parties should come together to give serious thought to it and then come to some conclusion. If all parties agree to increase this amount, then it should be increased.
Most political parties believe that costs have gone up considerably for an election. What do you think should be a reasonable amount?
It is difficult to say that how much, what should be the upper limit. But all parties should give thought to it, and then there should be a consensus that what should be the upper limit to expend in the election, and then that amount should be fixed by the Election Commission.
There's a proliferation of cash and given out in form of doles, etc. And it seems that many people believe that this is not being controlled properly, and it cannot really be controlled.
So electoral reform is needed. Election Commission should be very strict in this regard. The basic concept of democracy is, and in a country like India, where government is providing food to more than 80 crores people, and food security bill is already passed in the parliament, every poor man, if he wants to contest, he should be given this chance to contest. If you will increase the upper limit, then it will be very difficult for poor people to participate in the election.
One of the solutions is because of funding of political parties have to be more transparent, and if funding of political parties becomes transparent, then expenditure will also become transparent. And one of the solutions is that there should be state funding of elections.
State funding is a very good proposal. We should consider it very seriously, and it is possible only when all political parties give serious thought to it, and all parties should come to a conclusion, then state funding is also possible.
So amongst the expenses that are going into elections, a lot is apparently being spent on paid news. There is a big concern, there is a feeling apparently that the media houses are actually blackmailing politicians for this, or is it the other way around?
It is only Election Commission which may control it. And even small newspapers, they expect from candidates, they want money, and it is very difficult for candidates of any political party to face this situation. Election Commission should be strict, and if any law is needed, then law should be passed by the parliament.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rashid Alvi, for talking to DD News. Thank you. So Mr. Rashid Alvi also believes that all political parties should come together and form a consensus. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us here on Late Edition. Well, the famous Austrian economist had defined democracy as the competitive struggle for people's vote. Now, money power ensures only the rich are powerful. And the problem with increasing expenditure is that the candidate would be obliged to repay his debts or make a profit from office. Now, Election Watch said in 2009 that 99% of candidates spent only 45 to 50% of the expenditure limit. Now, in the recent Delhi election as well, the candidates of the AAP party are reported to have spent much less than that limit. Now, the Election Commissioner, H.S. Brahma, is also quoted as saying that the play of black money is very high in our country. And while the Election Commission has done a great deal to curb the flow of cash in elections through flying squads, a lot more would be required to prevent the legislator from starting his career with a lie of filing a false election return. Thanks very much for watching. Namaskar.